Hello, fourth grade, and welcome to Unit 2 of Social Studies. This week, we're going to be starting our unit on Explorers of California. Now, I did add in extra information pages here to give you some background on all of the things that we're going to learn about throughout this unit. I'm going to let you guys read those ones on your own, and I'm going to jump directly into the instruction. So we're going to start working over here on page 4, and I've got the page numbers down at the bottom in red. Page 4 says why people explored. What makes you want to explore? Maybe you like the adventure of looking for new places or things, or maybe you want to find something that you can show your friends. Explorers had different reasons why they explored. Read some of them below. Challenge. Many explorers, like people today, want to test themselves and be the first to discover something. Number 2, trade. Many rulers of the countries gave money to men who were willing to explore new places to trade with or new routes to get there. Number 3, gold. Many explorers were searching for minerals like gold and silver to build wealth. Number 4, science. Some explorers were scientists who wanted to find out how large the world was, how different the plants and animals were around the world. Land. Number 5. Many other explorers wanted to claim new land for their country. They wanted to build large empires. Number 6. Spices. Spices were not grown in Europe, and it was very difficult and expensive to get them from Asia, so they were looking for an easier way. Number 7. Religion. Some explorers wanted to spread their Christian religion. Problems explorers faced. Early explorers faced many challenges. Here are just a few. Sickness. There were a number of diseases that they encountered, including scurvy, which is a lack of vitamin C, cholera, which you get from drinking unclean water, and dysentery from bad hygiene, which means you're not keeping clean or keeping your body clean. The next one was maps were unreliable. So a lot of times they had maps, but the maps weren't always accurate. So when they were trying to follow them, it didn't necessarily get them to where they wanted to go. Hunger. The food spoiled and they did not have enough fresh water. So the food that they took with them on the ships would sometimes go bad, and then they would have a hard time finding something to eat. And they would run out of fresh water, which is how a lot of them ended up getting cholera. It's because they were drinking water that wasn't clean. Bad weather conditions were also an issue in case there were storms out at sea. And Native people, like Native Americans, once these explorers came and tried to settle on their lands, not all of them wanted them there because they would take the lands away from the Native Americans without asking them and try and force them off of their land so they can keep it for themselves. So your first assignment down here, using this information, I want you to create an advertisement looking for explorers and list the qualifications needed to be an explorer and the dangers that they will face. So what you're going to do is you're going to use actually page 6 right here, the Explorers Wanted page, and you're going to create this ad. Make sure you write neatly if you're going to handwrite it. If you're going to type it, please make sure it's a good size, it's easy to read, and that holds all of the information that you want to put in there. Your next section, life on an explorer's ship. When an explorer went on a trip, they had to be prepared for many dangerous and uncomfortable situations. Read the information below. What will I eat? Hard, dry bread, salted meat, scrape the mold off of it, dried peas, cheese, check for worms, fish, and wine. Where will I sleep? There are no beds. You'll just find a place to sleep. If you sleep below deck, you'll deal with bad smells and rats. You'll have one set of clothes. There's no soap and no bathroom. What dangers will I face? If you don't eat enough vitamins, you could get scurvy. This will cause your skin to break out in boils, which are basically like blisters, and your teeth will fall out. Then your arms and legs will swell up before you go into a coma. You'll often be dehydrated due to the lack of water. So remember, they run out of fresh drinking water pretty quickly. You might get frostbite in the winter. In the summertime, you face heat stroke. So that's what happens when you get really, really hot. You start to get dizzy and pass out. You'll fight off thieves who are trying to rob you. What will I do? Work for 4 hours and rest for 4 hours. You will repeat this every day. Clean the deck and check the ropes, mend the sails when they tear, fix leaks in the boat, pump out slimy, smelly water from the boat, and be ready to fight off thieves waiting to rob boats. Invent something to solve one of these problems discussed above. What problem does it solve? Now, what you're going to do for this part is you're going to go into the Google Classroom assignment where I've set up a separate document for you that gives you space for you to write about your invention and what problem it solves. So make sure that you're writing using complete sentences. Please be very descriptive in your writing. I want to be able to imagine your invention. And as you go through the Explorers Wanted ad, make sure you're putting in all of the information about what your explorers are going to do, the dangers they face, and what kind of skills they need. Now, once you've completed that, we're going to move into the Our Earth section. For the Our Earth section, you're going to watch a video clip, which I've already linked for you in Google Classroom, and we're going to follow all of these steps. So after you watch the video, you're going to label these things on the map. So make sure you're doing the top portion and the bottom portion, not just one. You're going to use a black crayon to mark the equator, which is a line of latitude. You're going to use a purple crayon to mark the prime meridian, which is a line of longitude. You're going to shade the Western Hemisphere yellow, so just color very lightly, which is the half of the Earth that's west of the prime meridian. You're going to shade the Eastern Hemisphere, which is east of the prime meridian, with blue. You're going to outline the Southern Hemisphere with red, and you're going to outline the Northern Hemisphere with green. So after you watch the video, it'll help you figure out where all these sections are. Now, if you don't remember, we did do a lot of longitude and latitude in our previous unit. The video will help. If you don't remember, you can go back to previous videos and check those out. Now, on the bottom questions, the first one says, write a continent in the Southern Hemisphere. Then write a continent in the Northern Hemisphere, write a continent in the Western Hemisphere, and a continent in the Eastern Hemisphere. And our last section here is how sailors navigated. So this is directly linked to a video where you're going to be watching the video and filling this out as you watch, because that's where you're going to be getting your answers from. You're going to take notes on how sailors navigated, or how they got from place to place and how they found their way when they were out at sea. They used ravens, they used the motion of the stars, the magnetic compass, dead reckoning, which you're going to watch the video about, and latitude and longitude clocks. And then once you've taken your notes on each one of these and how these different strategies help them to navigate, we're going to answer a question at the bottom about how do ships navigate today. So use what you learned and what you know about ships today to answer this last question, and that will take you through your assignments for this week. I hope you guys have a great day, 4th grade. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care. Bye-bye.